All right, today we are diving deep into the blueprint for pretty much every living thing on this planet. The absolutely incredible, elegant structure of DNA.
Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a pretty weird question, right? But stick with me because by the end of this explainer, you're going to see how this exact image holds the key to understanding one of the most important molecules in the universe.
So let's start with the big picture. We're going to use that staircase analogy to really get a handle on the overall shape and feel of DNA.
Okay, first things first, the formal introduction. DNA stands for Deoxyribonucleic Acid. A bit of a mouthful, I know. And its job? Oh, just carrying the unique set of genetic instructions that make you, well, you. It's the master code, the chief architect of life itself. No big deal.
You've probably seen its famous shape a million times. Scientists call it a double helix, but honestly, the best way to picture it is as a twisted ladder, or even better, that spiral staircase. And this shape isn't just for looks, it is absolutely essential for everything DNA has to do.
All right, now we're going to zoom right in. Forget the staircase for a second. Let's look at the individual bricks and mortar that build it. We're going to break DNA down into its three key ingredients.
The most basic, single repeating unit of DNA is called a nucleotide. The easiest way to think about it is like a single Lego brick. You take billions of these nucleotide bricks and link them all together to build the entire massive DNA molecule.
And get this, every single one of those Lego bricks is made of the exact same three smaller parts. You've got a sugar, specifically deoxyribose, a phosphate group, and then number 3, a nitrogenous base. And it's this third part, the base, where all the magic really happens.
So there are 4 different types of these bases, and they fall into 2 distinct families. First, you've got the purines, that's adenine and guanine, and they have this bigger 2-ring structure. Then you've got the pyrimidines, cytosine and thymine, and they have a smaller 1-ring structure. This difference in size is super important, as you'll see in a minute.
Now, trying to remember which bases are which can be a pain, right? Well, here's a fantastic little trick. Just think pure as gold. The purines are adenine and guanine. See? Simple, and it really helps it stick in your head.
Okay, so we have all our pieces laid out on the table. Now let's look at the instruction manual. These are the very specific rules that control how all those pieces snap together to form that iconic double helix.
First thing you gotta know, the 2 long strands that make up the sides of our ladder are anti-parallel. Just picture a 2-lane highway where traffic in one lane is going north and traffic in the other is going south. That's exactly how the 2 strands of DNA are set up. It's a design that gives the molecule incredible stability.
And now for the rungs of the ladder. This is maybe the most important rule of all, and it is beautifully simple. Adenine, or A, always pairs up with thymine, T, always. And guanine, G, always pairs up with cytosine, C. A with T, G with C. That's it. That's the fundamental rule that holds the entire code together.
And hey, here's another awesome memory trick for you. This time for how the bases connect. For the adenine and thymine pair, just think of the word AT. It has 2 letters, right? Well, it's held together by 2 bonds.
And that brings us right to this. 2. The adenine-thymine pair is held together by exactly 2 hydrogen bonds. They're strong enough to keep the ladder from falling apart, but just weak enough to be unzipped when the cell needs to read or copy the DNA. On the other hand, the guanine and cytosine pair is held together by 3 hydrogen bonds. That makes it a slightly stronger connection. So let's lock that in. AT gets 2 bonds, GC gets 3. Simple as that. Okay, so we've looked at the pieces, we've looked at the rules. Now it's time to zoom back out and connect all those dots to see why this specific shape is just so perfect for the massive job of storing the blueprint of life. So let's put it all together one more time. You have those repeating sugar and phosphate units creating a strong, stable backbone. Those are the railings of our spiral staircase. Then you have the AT and GC base pairs forming the protected steps on the inside, and the whole thing twists into that elegant right-handed spiral. And that twist isn't just for show. Not at all. It actually creates 2 different sized gaps along the outside of the molecule. The bigger one, called the major groove, acts like a superhighway, giving proteins easy access to get in there and read the genetic code. The smaller minor groove, that mainly just adds to the molecule's overall stability. This right here is the so what of it all. This is where you see how perfectly the structure is built for its job.
1. The specific sequence of bases, A, T, C, and G, is the actual code that stores all our genetic information. 2. Because the strands are perfect mirror images, they can be easily unwound and copied with incredible accuracy. And 3. It provides the ultimate blueprint for building every single protein that does all the work in our cells. This flow of information has a pretty cool name. It's known as the central dogma of biology. Think of it like this. The master blueprint, the DNA, is transcribed into a temporary message, which is called RNA. That RNA message is then taken out and translated to build the final product, a protein. It's just a beautiful, efficient system for turning stored information into real-world action.
You know, when you step back and really look at it, it is just mind-blowing. Out of just 3 simple little components and a handful of strict pairing rules, nature builds the entire, infinitely complex blueprint for every living organism. It's incredible.
I mean, think about that for a second. The entire epic story of life, from a tiny bacterium to a giant blue whale, is written with an alphabet of just 4 letters. It really makes you wonder, what does that tell us about the profound, almost unbelievable power of simple,